I started doing makeup in 6th grade for cheer competitions. You had to do really harsh makeup, so I started with everything at a young age, just because like the lights and everything on stage would like blast you out. So doing all that, and then as I started growing up, I continued to like go through puberty and like had acne and things. So then I would more focus on like trying to cover up the imperfections that I had with myself and my face. It's more so just become for me, and it's just like a process that I really enjoy now versus like picking out every imperfection that I have. It makes me feel confident, and then also helps with me like being more like feminine, or like I like playing around with like my eye shape. It's helped me a lot with that. Getting used to like figuring out how I feel with like my identity as like an Asian person as well, like highlighting my eyes instead of like hiding them now. Although I identify like as a guy, I dress very femininely, and I like a lot of feminine aspects of life, and makeup is definitely a part of that. While I think you can do masculine makeup, anyone can wear makeup. I think the way that I wear it helps me just express myself in a more feminine way that I wouldn't be able to without it. It makes me feel more comfortable within my own identity as well. Just like throughout my day, I feel more myself.
I think the first time I wore makeup, I was in like 3rd grade in Cuba. And I think it was like mascara that I wore, and I wore it to school. And that's the first time I realized I had really short eyelashes. So I don't think I wore mascara after that for a while. Then I started wearing makeup again in like, I think middle school, like 6th grade. And I wear makeup almost every day, or on and off since then. I feel like I don't actually put makeup and my like gender and sexuality, I guess, but mostly gender, together. For me, it's just art. Like you're just painting on your skin, and just to show different things, and they can be as subtle and as dramatic as people want. But I don't, for myself, I never connect myself to that. It depends on what I want to show that day, what I want to show that day.
I feel like also sometimes before I have any makeup on, I'll look at myself, because I may be vain. There's a possibility that I'm a little vain. I'll look at myself in the mirror and just go, ugh, I'm so beautiful. And then when I start putting makeup on, that's when I become critical of how I look. And then typically, like halfway through doing makeup, I will feel worse about myself than I did before I started putting it on. And it's honestly very common that once it's, like, most of the time I feel about the same when I like my makeup as when I have none on. And sometimes I feel worse when I have my makeup on. So it's like, very interesting. Yeah, there's like, this big pressure for trans women to be hyper feminine. There's this term that I actually hate that a lot of trans women like are like okay with or use as satire, which is like as one of the dolls, this like hyper feminine like version of a woman. And I don't know, I think like rejecting those pressures, including makeup, but then also sometimes like being okay with doing those things, but not feeling like I have to do them.
I think the first person that ever like was around me wearing makeup was my mom, and it was just like really basic stuff. In middle school, I feel like I started like asking her like, what do I do, what do I use, and I was just kind of playing with whatever. But then I like discovered like, oh, like eyeliner is a thing, and like it's kind of fun to play around. I don't know, I still kind of do the same thing, but definitely like moving to different places, seeing new people and how they do different things inspired me a lot. Like becoming like more aware of my queerness, and I was like, oh, I actually can like look at how I feel and like, I don't know, express myself in that way. And I feel like I didn't do that for a long time because I didn't really know that I could. And then when I realized that there's this like whole other expression part of myself that I could like customize, I just like really wanted to continue to do that more. I feel like kind of a novice with makeup, and around here it's so cool because people really know what they're doing, and I hope to learn from them for sure.
The first time I ever put makeup on was when I was in theater. I was a theater baby. My mom had me in a local company called On Stage Theater. And for the final shows, she would always put mascara on me and foundation. And I think like a little bit of blush, and she said it was to make sure that I didn't get washed out by the stage light. And I didn't like it at the time because it was scary to have the wand so close to my eyeballs. But looking back, it was probably a sign for something, that she was going to be supportive of me being a weird makeup freak. I think that with my makeup and without my makeup, I'm still me. I know there's a distinct difference between the way I act when I have a huge drag face on and heavy makeup. I definitely feel more confident, but I don't feel like that's a separate part of myself. I feel like that is very in tandem with the me I am in the most raw form, but just kind of emphasized and hyper-focused on. And I also feel like I have feminine features anyway. So a lot of the makeup I put on will just emphasize that, which makes me feel very comfortable with, you know, being feminine. And yeah, it makes me just kind of have like the gender euphoria feeling of like, you know, I feel like how I always wanted to be, and I feel like how I feel on the inside.